a garden of flowers in Delhi. We all brothers and sisters are looking forward to welcome Marcelo Bhai, who is the national coordinator of Brahmakumaris in Colombia. He is a consultant, coach, and author, and he has conducted various leadership workshops across the world, various countries across the world, and he's in Gyan for more than 37 years in the Gyan and has dedicated his life. And his main work is through self leadership. His books, his workshops have focused main on the self leadership. And in his 40 years of Gyan, it's, it's practicing his spiritual practices, which is visible. So we welcome Marcelo Bhai, uh, and we are looking forward to hear from his experiences. And now I invite Sangeeta Didi to welcome him and introduce him further. And thank you, Marcelo Bhai, for your time and looking forward to your experiences. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Marcelo Bhai. Good morning. Our good morning, your good
Om
night.
Shanti, Didi, Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
Exactly.
Thanks very much to accepting our invitation. And this is Baba's beautiful garden of चैतन्य फूलों का बगीचा है ये इसमें. So we have Baba's children from all over the world, I should say, even out of India also and within India and various states of India, Bombay, Maharashtra, etc. Delhi, of course, is the main. And we have been listening. Sometimes we had come, many times we have come to Siri Fort, so we had the fortune, no, of taking Baba's, being in the company of Baba's double foreigner children. I'm sure you also remember, many times you had come.
Yes.
Yeah. So all are looking forward. So we would like, because भारतवासीज, भारत के कुंभकर्ण को कौन जगाएगा आपको पता है ना. You know your responsibility. तो अब आपने कैसे धारणा की, डिसिप्लिन्स को फॉलो किया, being a double Videshi, and you were in the military background also.
Yes.
In Colombia. So military background and then this being in that background, रूहानी जिस्मानी मिलिट्री और रूहानी मिलिट्री दोनों में हो गए ना आप. मार्सेलो भाई को हिंदी भी थोड़ा समझने में आती है, मुझे लगता है
Thank
काफी
you.
समझने में आती है, थोड़ा थोड़ा कि काफी काफी
Tora, tora.
थोड़ा थोड़ा आता है. अच्छा अच्छा. So we are looking forward to hear from you, your disciplines, Bab Dada's meeting, journey of 40 years. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you very much for the invitation. English समझते हो? Yeah, ठीक है?
सभी
Okay.
समझते हैं, सभी इंग्लिश समझते हैं.
Good, good.
आपको ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी.
Yeah. Just yesterday, Baba sent a message via Sister Mohini, New York Walla. And Baba was saying, Baba is going to take us back to Madhuban. So, so we are missing so much Madhuban. And of course, Madhuban, Bharat Mana hai. And so it's Delhi, Paristan. So it's very nice to be. Even so, it's subtly, I feel like I am there. So thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you. I just want to show you, I want to show you, if it's possible, just where Colombia is, so people know. Huh, TK?
Sure.
So you can see the distance, okay? Colombia is where I am. We are 10 hours and a half behind. So now is Shamko Dasbadi. and that's India here. So it's a very long trip. Sometimes I even took 36 hours to go once. And this is also a picture of myself. The first assignment abroad was in Chile. So this was myself in Baba's apartment in Chile. And this is Baba's house now, where I am, here in Bogota, Colombia. So it's a nice house. It's a very nice place, very nice city. We are very high, so it's always cold. Tanda hai. Sabe din, tanda hai. So every single day we feel cold, but that's okay. So yeah, when I came to Guyana, it was very interesting. It was magical. I think everyone I know that I talked how they came to Guyana, they always have some magic. I also had some magic. First of all, I was never interested in India. No, no India. You know, my Bhavna was not in India. Never. But Baba sent some signs. So when I was young, like 14 years old, Choda, my grandmother, she gave me a Bhagavad Gita. So I read Bhagavad Gita when I was just 14. So just before Gyan, about 6 months before Gyan, I start to feel like learning yoga. So I want to learn yoga, but I didn't know what was it. I just felt I there was no reason. Just the thought came, I should learn yoga. Around that time, Sudesh Didi, German Walla, a Delhi Walla, no? She was in São Paulo. I didn't know. So I think I got some vibrations, you know. But I started to think about yoga, yoga, yoga. So I had a couple of friends when I was studying very far from my town, from my city. São Paulo is like Delhi, very big, bara bara hai. Huh? São Paulo is like 20 million people population. So, but I was studying outside Bahar. I was studying about 8 hours. Very nice city, very beautiful. It was a city full of roses, and the roses were this size. The roses, gulab, this size, very big, huge. So during my holiday, I came back home, and the feeling of learning yoga was there, present. But I was too young, so I got involved in other things. But then I went to meet two friends of mine. No, we used to be five friends. So I was the only one in the Air Force. So I met these two friends and they were doing yoga. So I was interested. Where are you doing? Oh, in this place. But I didn't have any money. So they said, no worries, it's free. So I said, but if it's free, it's not good. They said, no, it's very good. So I went there. And it's interesting because Baba says in the Murlis that when people come together, they should be separated. So these two friends of mine, because they have started a course, so they were taking one course, and I was taking another course just by myself. So it was very good because I didn't have their influence so much in me. So I learned Baba, but I went back to my school. I went back to the Air Force. And in my culture, we eat meat every meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner. There is always something of meat there. Um, so it was not possible. At that time, there was no Murli system. So I didn't receive the Murli either. So I was just there by myself. But Baba touched my heart, and the touching was there. So I start to give course there, even though I was not following anything much. I started giving course, and another brother emerged from there also. He took Yan with me in the school. Then when he went back to his home, he took Yan there in the center properly. He also became a Brahmin. He was a right hand for many years. So what I learned is that whenever Baba wants to touch someone, he will touch. You know, it doesn't matter the situation, it doesn't matter where they are. I also know so many souls from India. There is a sweet brother I used to meet in Pandavavan, and he was saying that how he found some books of Raja Yoga in the dumpster, and he started to study those books, and he's now a Madhubaniwasi. So Baba, when he wants to touch us, it's always magical. However, Baba says that double foreigners, we have a big wall, you know. For some reason in past lives, we went here. So we have a choice. Either we think it's our karma to be so far from India, so far. We are missing India so much, so much. You don't even think how much we are missing Bharat. So there is some karma there that we have to settle, we have to do things, etc. And that's the big one. We adopt a different customs, we adopt a different religion, everything different, very different. But another way of thinking is that we came here to do seva, because we have to find people, and we have also to, on one hand, Didi was saying about our duty of waking the Kumbhakarna in India. That's our duty. But also, Baba says our duty is to awaken the whole tree. And here in our double foreigner lands, we know that very few people we meet will become Brahmin. Very few people of them, they will go to Golden Age. So we serve in an unlimited way. We just serve them. We just give them whatever they want. So sometimes they want Raja Yoga, Raja Yoga Chahi. But sometimes they don't want Raja Yoga. You know, it's like some people, they go to a doctor, and the doctor tell them, oh yes, but you have to do diet, you have to do exercise, you have to do this treatment, that treatment. And they say, oh no, too much, too much. So they go. And they go to another doctor, and the doctor says, oh, just take these pills and you'll be fine. So which doctor do you prefer? Some people, they go to the treatment, but many people, they just want the pills. They just want some injection, and that's it. So lots of work from our side is to just give souls whatever they need. You know, atmosphere here is very different than India. There are not much noise like India. India is a bit noisy, horn all the time. No, no. It's very noisy there. Well, I liked Shri Fort, in fact, because of that. Shri Fort was quiet. I used to love that, because when I stayed in Pandavavan, oh, that was so noisy, and cars the whole night. So Carol Bag, no Pandavavan. So it was cars all night. But Shiri Fort was like heaven, and ORC is like wow, Shantidam. It's it's very sweet, you know. So here things are different. There's a big wall. So we serve souls in whatever they want. So even myself, when I came to Gyan, they gave me whatever I wanted, whatever I need. They didn't say too much, you know. They were very tactful. Even when they talk about the dharna, the principles, they didn't say it so much. They didn't emphasize, you know. It's not they say you have to follow that. No, they just said very, very lightly. So I didn't even notice. The only thing I noticed was that I had to become vegetarian, which was very difficult for me, very hard. But the other principles I didn't even realize. So they said in such a way that we didn't realize. So here, in fact, what we do is to create doste, create friends. So we make them friends of God, and then they come. Also, the idea of God is very different here. Some aspects of God, they are okay. Some other aspects are not. In fact, if I knew in the Raja Yoga course they were going to talk about God, I wouldn't come because I was fighting with God at that moment. I had so many problems in my life, so I was fighting with God. So Baba was so yukti with me that he did in such a way that I didn't know they were talking about God. So the first class was Atma, and that was the first time ever I heard about Atma. I never heard about that before, and it touched my heart so much. I took 2 hours to go from my home to the center, from the center to my home. It was the same city. Well, Delhi probably has situations like that. So it took 2 hours by bus. So I used to go back home writing poems, poetry about the soul because I was fascinated about the idea. So next day, when they talked about God, well, my intellect was softened, so I accepted the idea. And I used to say, I told someone, I love Brahmakumaris God because he's very nice. He's very good. So, so I think the knowledge for me was very easy to understand. So to have dharma in terms of knowledge was not that difficult. Even so, was going very much against many of my beliefs, but I accept. Like the cycle is impossible. If you are going to talk to a foreigner about Brahma Kumari's course, don't talk about the cycle too much. You're going to scare them, you know. So we have to be careful. But even that, I accept. I accept the cycle, I accept the tree, I accept everything, you know. Even the Murli, even when they said that God was coming, I didn't understand fully, but I accept. So I think Baba gave me the speciality of learning very easily. But the other three uh, subjects in this university was a little more difficult. To have yoga was very, well, was a struggle for me because the lifestyle maybe were so different. We don't have the custom of just stay quiet. Double fours, we are moving and doing things and doing. So we don't have that custom. Like India, you have the facility of songs, no? So Git. So when you are going to meditate, so there is a song there, and the song is providing you some thoughts. We don't have. In our countries, we don't have. Even now, we don't have. We play Hindi songs here, but nobody understands anything. Nobody knows what the Hindi song is saying. We just play like music in the background. So we don't have those facilities much. So to learn yoga was a little difficult. So this is why it's very important that I had very good teachers. So those teachers, they taught me yoga and they gave me power until I was able to connect to God and get the power. Or we could say Baba was giving me power through them. So I was very lucky in that sense. And the dharma of changing my life was very
Who were your
common.
teachers?
Um, Sister Luciana, Brazil Wala, and Brother Ken. So, but
Okay.
mainly Luciana Ben. Ken Bai was Para Bai, no? but Luciana Bench was in charge of the center. So she was there. And there was Dulcera's sister, Prem, Sister Marley Premben. So she's also Brazilwala.
Mm.
No Indians here, only foreigners. They're all foreigners.
Double foreigners.
Only double foreigners. Yes. We understood the Murli as much as possible. We understood the Dharna as much as possible. But the Dharna was complicated. The Dharna of like Baba talks about being vegetarian. We didn't know how to cook, so I had to learn how to cook. Then I went to live with other brothers, other BK brothers. Then things became a little easier in terms of following food, but also following, uh, pavitrata, no purity, following a company. That was very complicated. Murli was easy, but the other aspects of Dharna, it was complicated, you know, because life is so different. I think the main aspect was love for Baba. I really recognized this is Baba. I also recognize this is my place, like Baba Center. This is my place. You know, I was very young. I was just starting to work. I was working very little things, but those things they kept me very strong. So slowly I developed Dharna, I developed yoga. And service was easy, but it's very different than service in India. I mean, you can't say things so directly. You have to say things always very softly. Mm. It's like if you are eating butter, no butter, makan, makan, I think, butter. So So in India, they would tell you, okay, go there and take the cow, take the milk, and do the butter. But here in the West, you go to the supermarket and you buy there. So, so the knowledge we give to people is packet, you know, it's like a supermarket packet one. And this way, we are able to reach so many people, people from different walks of life. They don't feel threatened by Brahmakumaris. They know they can be wherever they are. I have a very good friend. I work with him. I still work. I'm a business consultant. I'm a coach. And I did some service in India also in relation to service. In Delhi, I did in a very big company there, or two or three big companies in Delhi, very huge self management, leadership course, this kind of things. So I have a friend of mine and I work with him from time to time. Right now I'm working with him. And he's not BK at all. He's not vegetarian. He doesn't follow celibacy. He doesn't follow anything. He doesn't hear the Murli, nothing. But he loves BKs. He loves our lifestyle. When Daddy Jank came to Colombia, last time she came here, it was very magical. So we had a retreat at his city, and he attended the retreat. Even so, he was not following anything. He went to the retreat because he wanted. So I said, okay, you go there. And he loved it. And even now that we are working, before the work, he said, Marcelo, can you conduct some meditation? So I did some meditation for them. But the meditation, we don't mention God, we don't mention anything. It's very just Atma. I think the main service we do in double foreigner lands is Atma. You know, we serve the soul. And if the soul is to be touched by God, the soul will be touched. Like we have one family here, they are in Gyan. You know, very sweet family, very sweet. They're so cooperative, they do so much service with Baba, even international service, because we have so many countries that speak the same language, Spanish, so many. So lots of services done by this family. But we started many years ago, we start to not mention the principles in the course at all. We don't say vegetarianism, we don't say anything. When they finish the course, there are two courses. When they finish both courses, we invite them for mulis on Thursday, Satguru Vahe, and on Sundays because Avyakt Muli is there. And this family, they stayed in that situation for a long time. So they never knew we are vegetarian properly, but they were hearing the Murli. Slowly they start to come every day Murli. So slowly they start to learn everything. So one day they want to go to Madhban. And so they asked. So I asked, do you follow this, that, that? They said, no, no, no. I said, okay, try to follow. And now they are very Pakabra. So in this way, we have to do, Baba was saying the other day, we have to kill the snake, but without breaking the stick, you know. And many people, they get hurt when we talk about celibacy, because in the Christianity, purity is very much valuable. Oh, it's very much valued. And in fact, they consider that the original sin was breaking purity. So it is there, it's in the religion, but they just hide it. They don't want to talk about that. So they get very, very, sometimes very angry when they learn about celibacy. Angry. They shout. And I have seen sometimes these things. So we are very careful. What we do is that, as Baba says, they see our face, they don't see the effort. And if they like the face and they want to become that, then they learn the effort and they see whatever they can do. And with me, that was the experience. I think I took a long time, but to assimilate things very well. But but I feel very fortunate that Baba had patience with me, had lots of patience with me, and he was able to teach me slowly here and there how to follow everything. Um, I remember I stayed with once Atam Prakash, Toliwala, Madhuban. You probably know him. So he came to our countries here. So he was in a neighbor country. The name is Venezuela. Maybe you have heard about it, that they have a big crisis nowadays. So he came to that country, and so they were so poor, so poor, so poor. So they decided to do a retreat in a very, very simple, extremely simple area. So I had to share the room with Fatambai, and it was beautiful to see the Dharna of Mother Baniwasi. It was beautiful to see how things work with that, and I do feel that's the way Baba teaches us, because we don't have the culture of India. There is one brother here. Not here, but in another country. And he says that every day, the stories Baba tells in the Murli, we have to repeat them once again and again and again. You know, like stories that for you very easy because you all understand. So we have to repeat all over again. Part of being a good Murlidhar here in the West is to learn the stories because they are totally out of our culture. And still, Babu was able to touch the soul. And that's the magical thing. And sometimes we lose hope on someone. We think, oh, that person won't understand Baba. That person won't understand this knowledge. But doesn't matter because Baba may be touching that soul in the heart. And slowly the soul will understand knowledge. Slowly the soul will be able to connect. Slowly the soul will be able to follow the principles and do service too. So that's something I learned a lot here. And every time I see someone and I just lose hope, I say, no, that's so, won't be able to follow. Even my friend, I still have hope that he'll get something of Baba's reward, something, you know. And I just remember that Baba is magical and he touches the intellect. And even I, how I came to Gyan, I really don't understand how I shouldn't be in Gyan because it was so magical and so, it was like I was on the other side of the wall. It was not only a wall, probably I had like 10 walls between me and Baba. And Baba did things in such a way. My story is very long, but I can just mention one story. When, as I said, I used to take 2 hours to go to the center. So it was impossible to go to Muli properly. The centers in the West, we just read the Muli once, maybe twice. That's it. So it was very difficult. And one day I came back from my school for holiday, and my family, they have moved away from that place and they went to another place. And now from 2 hours, I was just 40 minutes far from the center. And it was so magical. I felt, wow, Baba, what have you done? I mean, it was so magical. Just from 2 hours, I was just getting one bus. The bus was just, I just came down from my building. I get the bus and I went to a place very nice, and I had to climb a little hill, just little, 10 minutes, and I was in Baba's place. So I will, from being too far, I became the first one to arrive at the center. I was the first one to ring the bell because of that. So many magics I've experienced, and that's very deep gratitude towards Baba. So Shanti, I think time is over for me. I don't know if you have any question, sister or anyone.
Right. It was good experience. Baba's magic is mostly played, has been regularly being played on the double foreigners.
Hmm.
Your Babdada's meeting also were very magical, you told.
Hmm. Yeah.
So you quit from your military background when?
Yes, because I was in Air Force, and so, well, I was not a military. I think the sanskar was not there totally, but it was good. I learned to be disciplined, because before military, I used to wake up 10 a.m., 10 baje, 11 baje. So with military, I was waking very early in the morning. So somehow it was good. I feel that military prepared me. But because I use eyeglass, no spectacles, so I had to leave because I was in the Air Force. So I went to the Navy. I tried. I was a BK already, but I didn't want to leave the military totally because it was very comfortable. So I went to the Navy, but I didn't
Correct.
enjoy it. Then I left. Then I joined this Pandav Sena, Thank you.
From Kaurav Sena to Pandav Sena.
Ah,
Very good. So it's a good journey.
yeah. It
Everyone,
was,
every Baba's child has
mm,
immense experiences, magical experiences of Baba
yeah,
once they become their child.
mm,
Hmm.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
So the center you are running, there are many other centers also. I mean, in
Yes,
Colombia.
we have like 12 places in the country, Bara, and the country is big. It's a country 60 million people,
Okay.
so it's okay. The family is docile, 200 BKs more or less.
200
More or less.
BKs.
Ah, but
Brahmins.
yeah, well, Murli BKs is 100. But we
Only
have
B.
another 100. They consider themselves part of the family, and they come, they help.
That's good.
And
mm,
so now with the COVID-19, Colombia was very high. We are the number 11. Well, India is number two. So, but Colombia was number 11, still number 11. But so the service is all online, and we do very little, very few things physical, no? Mostly is online service. So
mm,
we are also together with all the countries that speak Spanish. So there are, so people now they can go to lectures anytime, workshops anytime. So they have so much variety. So services has expanded a lot. We have been able to go to so many places. And just like you are saying, the Murli, some people they are from other countries. Also,
mm,
in when we give lectures, many countries they join, many people from other
mm,
places. It's been beautiful. It's been very beautiful.
बाबा कहते हैं ना विहंग मार्ग की सेवा. So I think so the online has done this kind of seva. विहंग
Yeah,
मार्ग की सेवा.
Baba used to
So
say
you don't
about
have to travel now. You traveled a
oh
lot in many countries. So
yeah,
Baba wants you to just sit in one place but yet still
yeah,
travel.
yeah. I didn't travel at all during the whole pandemic. I have been here.
Yeah. So
I'll be
earlier you
traveling.
traveled, no? So now Baba doesn't want
Yeah,
to give.
now I'll be traveling the end of the month. I'm going to another city. Baba
Mm,
has a new house, Baba's own house, and I couldn't go to that city yet. So I'm going there at the end of the month. That will be my first trip
mm,
after March. I was in India. No, I was in Madhuban in March. So I was there in Madhuban when everything started to close down. I was there. So
Acha, you were
when
there.
yes, yes.
Acha.
When I left Madhuban, after few days, India closed the airports. So
Mm,
but I was able to leave Madhuban.
mm,
And since then, I didn't travel. I've been around. Also because of health, I have to be careful, you know.
mm.
And so I'm always around there.
Okay, so good to hear from you.
No, good to hear
So
from you.
good to even you must have had good experience to be in Bharat.
Oh,
Baba
yes.
yesterday had told that you'll go to Madhuban, no? In
Yeah.
the Sandesh. So
That
it's
Sandesh
one step.
was yeah. That Sandesh was so sweet.
Yeah,
When he said, because Mohini Didi, she asked Baba, but how do I go? No, Baba said, don't worry, Baba will take you. And she said it was for all of us. And it really touched our hearts that Baba was saying that we go.
yeah. We heard
Now,
yesterday from many.
uh,
All the double foreigners are longing to come to Bharat.
yeah, yeah.
Mm,
That's true. You know there is now live feed, from Tower of Peace, Shantstam, Babaka, all the four places of pilgrimage.
yeah.
So we sometimes we just go there and just sit there and just see. We are there in Madban, we are there in History Hall. It's so nice, so sweet.
Yeah.
I think the probably there are many secrets behind of what all that's happening, but one
Mm,
of the secrets was to recover the enthusiasm to go to Madhuban, because
right,
now
right.
Baba is not coming physically anymore, and daddies are not much there anymore. So it's like the situation Baba says in the Moli sometimes is the students among the students, no, all among us. We are teaching each other, we are helping each other. So now with this pandemic, we have new enthusiasm, we have new energy. We
Mm,
are really missing. I'm really missing to go to Peace Village, New York, London, but Madhuban is the first
mm,
place that comes to mind. Really miss. I really
mm.
miss to go there. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel when I'm looking at all of you, You know, when Baba says that one day you have visions at the end, so I feel like I'm have visions from India. So
Of
this
all the
is,
deities,
yeah, of all the
right?
deities there.
In their mandir, it is like
Ah,
everyone's temple, little temples, and the deities are
exactly.
visible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The little temple is there, and Baba says that in every street there will be a center. So in every mobile phone there is a center now,
Yeah,
so everybody
yeah,
can hear.
yeah.
So I do feel that every time I talk with the souls, I'm organizing the double foreigner program for Madhuban. I'm organizing the logistic part.
Mm,
So all the programs, we are doing 2 days every month, like the end of the month. So every month we do 2 days for double foreigners. And so I have to be in touch a lot with Gensarova Niwasis. And it's so sweet. I mean, it's
mhm.
so nice to be
One
there, to
sister is
talk.
asking that how did you connect to the military training and your
Uh,
peace from military background? How did you connect to Baba?
well, as I said, it was magical. I shouldn't be here. I mean,
It was a
I don't
magic.
know. I really
Mm.
don't know. It's pure magic. I was not military, really. I think in my past life, probably my past life, I was military because I adapted very easily. You know,
Mm.
the
Yeah.
physical training was very tough because I was not physical person. I was more a brain person. So the physical part was very, 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 very harsh. You know,
Mm.
because you have to do a lot. It was a school. No, I was studying to be an officer, so it was not that bad. I was earning some salary. I was having very good education. And in fact, I went to the military because of the good education. You know, the quality of the education was very high. And because my family was not supporting me in terms of education, they didn't support me. So that was a very good way to go. And I was earning a little salary, little things. So it was great there. But I just went there because of that. I think some past life pushed me there. But that was good because I learned discipline. Otherwise, if I came to Guyana without going to the military, it would be very hard for
No
me to
discipline.
go. No discipline. I never had any discipline. I
Mm.
used to wake up whenever I want, only for school, but still, it was not that. So I used to love knowledge a lot. So
Mm.
this is why Baba
So,
Baba took me through the knowledge.
mhm. That's good. So from Kaurav government to Pandav government,
Yeah,
Kaurav Sena to Pandav Sena.
Pandav Sen.
So you're
People.
leading the Pandav Sena in Colombia.
Yeah, Baba is leading. I'm just Nimit, just someone here. There is a good
Okay.
team and everything works
Yeah.
here.
You have a good team there. It's
Mm.
good. Strength is good. 200 BKs means a very good strength. And
It's
Baba's
it's
children.
good. I mean, the service here is beautiful. We have very good friends. They love us. I just give there was just an interview with a very important doctor here. So every month we have an interview with him in radio. So thousands of people they take benefit. Um, and sometimes we just serve with good wishes and power, vibrations. You can't go too directly to these people, no. So we have to be just send vibrations, send yoga, and they get touching. And Baba does so many magics. It's really amazing how we have this big house. It's a huge house. It's Baba's house. I don't know how. It's just here. Baba's
Mm.
house is just here.
Can send a photograph eventually in the mail of this center.
Oh yeah,
Photograph in the sense the video of this
yeah,
Baba's.
the video because this is the center. No, I showed you. This is Baba's house here. You know, a video. Yeah, a video. Yeah, we had a program with Mohini Didi.
Right, right. Yeah, we saw. I think so. I saw this one because she
So
toured everybody to all the regions, the
yeah,
centers in all the regions. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was beautiful. So
Mm-hmm.
Colombia also we showed all
It
the
comes. Yeah,
center.
yeah.
Yeah,
Now I could recall.
yeah, it was very, very beautiful experience to see
Mm-hmm.
all the centers. So many centers I don't know, so many places I don't
Even
know in
you could know through that touring only.
yeah, and that touring was very powerful. Was very
Mm.
powerful because you did feel you were there. You know, this is why I'm saying this is like darshan. You know, this is a vision that we have because we feel like I am there. You know, you feel like I am there with everyone, with you in your center there. I feel like I'm in India. I can even smell pakora or something.
Acha, acha. Good, good. So we'll offer that bhog to Baba and you also today. But we are
Okay.
doing bajra roti. Baba says no. So today we are offering that only. Baba said in the
Bajra,
Murli. That
Bajra is what's the name of Bajra roti is
bajra.
Barley.
Huh.
kya?
Millet.
Millet, millet.
Millet.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, the other day Baba was talking about that Bajra. I went to a city in Maharashtra. The specialty of that city was Bajra. And they gave me 2 kilo. So I brought to Colombia 2 kilo of Bajra. So 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 the other day I was remembering. It was my last tour in India was there. I'm not traveling so much the past few years. I am traveling very little. My health was not that good anymore. But my last tour was to this city. I don't remember the name. It was in Maharashtra somewhere. So I went through Hyderabad, Secunderabad, then to this place, that place. So we went so many places. A plane, a train, plane, everywhere. It was very fun, and that was the city of Bajra. That's the specialty for that city. And the brother is very sweet. He's now in Australia. Very sweet brother. So so his family had a farm, so they gave me to Colombia 2 kilo.
Okay.
Okay,
So
sister. Thank you very
thanks.
much.
Thanks a lot. It's 11 there, I think so.
Yeah, it's almost 11. I should
Yeah.
go because
We made
health is
you.
not that good.
So you were awake for us. So that also special
Yeah.
thanks in spite of
Well,
your.
Baba says when the gods are calling, you have to be awakened.
So you can give one drishti to everybody.
किन शब्दों में आपका धन्यवाद करें किन शब्दों